All right, Brett. These are what we're gonna do for the heist for Heist-vember. These are the steps.
Okay. This is your heist idea for our podcast,
Well, it's the heist. We're doing the heist. Remember?
right? Heist-vember.
Oh, Brett. This is the rest of our crew. These are the guys who are doing the heist with us.
Oh, more heist people. Fabulous. Heist-vember friends.
The heist police. You know them? They're right outside.
What is a heist police?
You know, the heist police from the movie Heat with Al Pacino?
And Robert De Niro.
Right.
That was awful.
Welcome back to Heist-vember. We have Brad, me. We got the rest of our crew, our heist crew. They're staying anonymous for this episode. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Returning for his 3 appearance challenge corn.
Look at that.
It's your boy, Gunnar. And I brought a friend this time.
I am Gunnar's little brother, Riley.
Look at that. It's a family affair here. Paradizo.
Friend and brother. I love that.
Yes.
It's a family heist affair.
Family heist affair.
Oh,
Can't believe no one's ever done that.
A family heist?
Movie.
I think Bottle Rocket is one.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
you-
they're best friends in Bottle Rocket. The Wilson brothers play best friends.
Interesting.
Is there? Well, there's Brothers in Oceans.
I haven't seen. The only one I've ever. You asked me if I want to do the Oceans one, but I've only ever seen the Ladies Oceans. My girlfriend forced me to watch it. It was
we
I.
could have used you. You got the title wrong the entire time.
Yeah, we got the entire episode. I kept saying Ocean's 7. It's Ocean's 8. I don't know how I missed that, but whatever. And quick before we get into the episode, just a quick thank you to all our subscribers. We hit the big 500. Soon we'll hit the 500,000. Soon, very soon. But yeah, we really appreciate it.
Bring on more zeros.
More zeros. The more zeros, the better.
Yes.
That's what I always say.
Always.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Heist-vember. We're talking heist movies. We're talking the movie Heat, the Michael Mann picture starring Al Pacino and De Niro, Robert De Niro. What are you guys' opinions? I don't know.
It was quite long, but I liked it.
Very long.
I liked the ensemble cast.
It's good on
De
top.
Niro, Pacino, Kilmer, a lot of great names. in
Baby
there.
Trejo.
Yes, Baby Trejo.
Baby Trejo?
He doesn't have a lot of lines or depth, but he's
But
there.
the scenes he is in, they matter.
Fucking Frank Azaria.
HankAzaria.
Hank Azaria. I was like, what?
Baby Portman.
Baby Portman.
Yes.
Also, not a lot of screen time, but in there.
Powerful, impactful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good scene.
Yeah.
Well, was this your guys' first time watching the film?
This is mine, yes.
Gunnar and I had tried to watch it before, probably about a year and a half ago, and we got like an hour and a half in, and we were like, this is way too long. And it was
Yeah, it was
2
like
in the
a
morning
very
at that
late
point.
night
Oh, yeah,
viewing.
no,
Like, okay,
I started
we'll
at
save it.
7:30 and regretted it.
Yeah. It's it's long.
Yeah.
Is you guys' first Michael Mann picture?
What else did he do? The first I'm aware of.
He directed and wrote episodes of Miami Vice.
Okay.
And then he went on to direct the Miami Vice movie, which I haven't seen.
That came out in like 2008 or
Yeah,
something.
Colin Farrell, Jamie Foxx, Miami Vice.
Okay.
Interesting career. Okay.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen either, but I'm fully aware. I know the show.
Yeah.
Of course. I
I
played
know
a lot of
people
Vice.
didn't like
I
it.
played Vice City a lot. That's like my favorite reference.
Basically it.
That
I saw
counts.
Archer-
It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
right.
I saw Archer Vice. So
That's
that-
like-
That counts too.
I played Vice City since I was a teenager, but I saw Scarface for the first time about a year ago.
Okay.
that's a good progression.
Did it backwards.
Yeah. But what else has he done? I looked into some of his stuff, but I don't remember it all right now.
I think he's kind of big as a writer, right?
Yeah.
Books. Yeah.
He wrote the book Heat too, right? Didn't he?
Heat
then-
and Heat too,
He too. Wow.
Okay.
which just came out
I was
like
wondering
the
if there was
past
a
like year.
No, it's not out yet.
No, he wrote the book Heat
Oh,
2.
oh.
It's just called Heat 2.
I thought you were
Not
talking
very.
about the movie. Well,
No,
Did they
yeah.
get a movie? Is
Yeah.
that-
I guarantee you it'll get optioned.
I thought there
yeah.
was a Heat 2 for some reason. Like, oh, I
I mean, we can talk about it now. Yeah, it's in production, starring AdamDriver as a young Robert De Niro. So
That's a solid casting decision.
Yeah,
Is that real?
that's
Oh,
100%,
oh.
yeah,
Oh.
I dig it.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know
I'd
they had
watch
the
it.
cast and
Is he
everything.
going to direct it again?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
all right. That is cool.
Did you guys see that Adam Driver Enzo Ferrari movie?
Ford versus Ferrari, or is it a different
he's,
movie?
He's playing, I think, Enzo Ferrari. He's playing, I think.
Oh, I heard about it. Yeah.
Isn't it like fairly heavy, like makeup prosthetics role? Okay, I'm curious at least. I like
I'd
Adam
love
Driver.
to see it.
Yeah.
He is good.
I mean, it's a
good.
perfect role for a man with the last name Driver.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Very good
Stole
point.
my joke. I was about to make that joke.
Well, they put that one on a T for me.
Yeah. Do you guys see him in House of Gucci?
I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it.
I saw House of
Great in
Gucci.
that.
I wanted to see it.
Really good. The
I
movie
didn't-
was
I forgot about
fucking
that.
The
everywhere.
movie felt like the American Crime Story show.
Yeah.
It felt like a Ryan Murphy production. Like, oh, there's all these big names in it, and it's very campy.
Okay.
But I don't think it meant to be campy, which is the problem.
I wanted to see it for Lady Gaga. I haven't seen her act. I
That's-
haven't seen Star is Born or that. I mean, maybe she did other stuff.
Yeah, I haven't
but-
seen Stars.
She did
She
one
was
of the
great in
American
House of
Horror
Gucci.
Stories.
Yeah, I saw both in theaters. I saw House of Gucci pretty much for Gaga, but like Adam Driver was a fun bonus.
Yeah.
Jared Leto probably stuck out the most.
Yeah.
That's
Mario
not in
In
a
a
flash.
good way or a bad way?
Not in a good way.
Okay.
His character was just very Italian.
He's like, they don't
Interesting.
make my clothes.
Yeah, like-
I just want to make a clothes.
Like
Like-
leaning way too far into it.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
like Super Mario Brothers Super Show, like that kind of accent.
That's a rough look. Yeah.
You know who
Look,
else was in
honestly,
that
yeah.
movie? Al Pacino.
This is true.
And you know what movie he's in?
He. All right, yeah, let's get back to it. But
Jack and Jill.
Look, he's in Jack and Jill.
yeah, I thought, yeah. So Pacino and Deniro are kind of like the two giants in it. Or you
That's
want to go
like-
over
yeah.
the plot first, or?
We can talk about the cast first.
Yeah.
It's their
Pacino's
second
just.
picture together, but first where they share the screen.
We talked about
Yeah.
that last night. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first movie they're in together is Godfather 2.
Yep.
But De Niro is in all the like flashback
Flashbacks, yeah.
scenes. Okay.
There's a third movie with De Niro and Pacino.
Yeah.
After this or before?
After this.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
All right,
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know if that's what we were speaking
No,
about.
yeah.
this
I
is
just
the
meant it was the
first-
second one to be
Oh,
made.
second time in the. Okay, yes.
But the
from
first that
95.
they were on screen together, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That, yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Which I like that scene a lot with them in the coffee shop.
Yeah,
That was a good
awesome.
scene.
I think all of their scenes together are pretty powerful and well
Yeah.
put together. I really
the
like
ending
the
scene.
I put somewhere in my notes here the scene where they're scoping out like the security system in the one place, and Pacino's in the van with the rest of the cops, and he sees him through the like infrared camera or whatever, and he's staring back into the camera. That's a really great
Like,
shot.
just
I like
kiss
that.
already.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
The sexual tension in some of these scenes is
Just wanted them
incredible.
to fuck.
Just a kiss at least.
Movie starts off with some pretty powerful Pacino fucking.
Yes,
Like
there is a
opening
sex scene
of
in the
film
beginning.
is like him just hard. Everything this guy does is fucking hardcore. He's like
Yeah.
eating her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of ladies with bad short bangs in that movie, including Pacino's girl.
It's 95. You can't blame him. They were doing
Yeah.
the Rachel. Was that out at the time? The Rachel.
Not familiar.
The Rachel. It's
I don't know if the Rachel was heavy on the bangs. I think that was more just
okay.
like the angle. It
Maybe.
was.
Oh, is that a cut based off the Friends
Yes.
character? Okay.
Yeah, the Jennifer Aniston,
Got it.
if you will.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. The girl who played Natalie Portman's mom, like, looked like she could be genetically Natalie Portman's mom.
Yeah.
They look very
good
similar,
casting.
which
I
is
can see
weird.
that.
But
Very good casting.
yeah, I don't know. The whole
I don't remember the
Pacino's
actress, but yeah,
Yeah.
she's good.
the whole Pacino's like family life thing didn't land with me. I was like, these characters got 3 minutes of screen time, and then it's like the end. And I'm like, oh, I forgot I was supposed to care about them.
Did anyone pay attention to the layout of his house that they all live in?
Al Pacino's house?
It's
Yes.
a nice house for like a police detective.
It was a pretty
an
alright
odd
house.
layout, though.
It was a very odd layout. The staircase, I'm pretty sure, like you have to devote all of
Yeah.
your focus and attention to just to getting up and down.
And the kitchen looked like it belonged in like a studio.
Yeah.
apartment.
That's the
Not
thing that
like
bothered me,
A
'cause-
multi-million-dollar LA home.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because there's a part where we go to Pacino's home and he's in his kitchen, and I'm like, oh wow, that's a really small looking kitchen for a
Yeah.
guy of his. He's like a lieutenant. You'd think he'd have a livable wage in a dual income house.
And you have to walk down the stairs to the kitchen. Like the stairs are in the kitchen.
yeah, and the
And
stairs
there's no
are
like
insane.
railing on the stairs.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
There's no support. It's just
Yeah.
a stair and like the
It
other
felt
stairs.
like every part of the house was on a slightly different level.
Yeah.
Like
It
the
really
living
did.
room's here, the bedrooms are here, and yeah, it was all
like
over the place.
like a modern MC Usher.
Same thing with what's his name? Top Gun. What's his
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer's house. His house was he had to like jump over something when he went to go hit his wife.
Oh yeah, he jumped over a bar top. Yeah, that
He
was
loved jumping in this movie. He was
did. He
moving
did have a
around.
lot
a
of
He
lot.
was a fucking
acrobatic
smoke
scenes.
show.
Yeah.
He was
good looking
a fucking-
guy. Good
Yeah.
looking guy.
I couldn't tell if that was his hair or extensions. It looked like bad extensions.
It was it looked like an extension or a wig or something. I was like, this is I don't buy it.
yeah.
I think he really showcased in that movie how good he is at acting angry. I think that's
Yeah.
like his
He was
best,
just angry the whole time.
Yeah.
That's true.
His
Yeah.
best role is being like pissed off guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of that in Top Gun too. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, getting back to Pacino and De Niro, do you guys like them? I don't know. Were they good in it? So
Pacino does
Yeah.
a lot of his signature, like I'm here and I'm Al Pacino, like
Yeah.
the yell and a bit too much.
we talked
his
about
eyes
that
up.
last week. Is like once he sort of, got to this point in his career, it was just yelling and the famous scene from this movie is the
Great ass!
great ass.
Yeah.
It's a good
Which
one.
honestly, I knew of the scene in the line. I didn't know it was for this specific movie.
I had
so
no idea
What a
either.
surprise.
Yeah, I watched it. Was like, it's the meme.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
She got a great ass.
I noticed
a
this
good thing to say.
movie. It might be this performance, or obviously other similar Pacino performances that Bill Hader's Pacino is probably based
Yeah.
off of. Because the entire time I was like, this is Bill Hader as Al Pacino. Like I just want to watch it that way.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But never mind. I was gonna say something, but it's regarding the other movie we're gonna talk about today.
I like De Niro a bit more. In
Yeah,
it.
he
I
was
think
more
he's-
subtle.
Yeah, he was better, I think.
So he was a real guy. I did research. This is a true story. The Hannah character, what's his name? Vincent Hanna. He is based on a real guy, but it's not. He wasn't a real guy. The villain himself, De Niro's character, Macaulay, was that his name?
I did
Last
not
name,
remember.
I
a
think.
lot
I
of
couldn't
the
really get
in
names.
that
I was just
movie.
going by the
There were a
actor,
lot of
yeah.
names.
Yeah, this is Pacino.
That's the
and De
thing. It's a
Niro.
big cast. And
Name heavy.
Yeah, he was a real guy. He escaped from Alcatraz. He was a fucking, no nonsense heister. And that's all I have to say about that. I think he was the real guy was a consultant on the film.
Interesting.
Oh, so he wasn't also shot to death at an airport?
And yeah,
Okay.
On the tarmac at LAX. Yeah.
Yeah.
might be like the gayest murder scene.
I hated that final scene. I can't.
No, I meant homosexual. Like it might
Oh,
be.
well. Yeah.
But we'll get to that later. I don't know. Someone start the movie.
All right.
Well, I liked a lot in the opening scene. I feel like every good heist movie, if they want to get your attention, they open with a good heist.
They got a good heist.
Yeah, and I like too De Niro in the beginning. It shows how like he's seasoned and been doing this for a while. He just walks right through the hospital, puts the garb on, takes the ambulance without a care in the world. It's just so like laissez-faire for him. Like he's done it a million times before, and I think that's great exposition that you get that in literally the first minute and a half.
Yeah.
He's a real pro.
Yeah.
What was the opening heist?
They're doing the
Brinks truck
they were knocking
Yeah.
over the
under the underpass.
Yeah, they had a guy who's not typically in their crew. It's Val Kilmer, Danny Trejo, and some other guy.
The guy with the shorter gray hair, the taller guy with the
No,
short
he's
gray
like
hair.
bald, but he's like has long.
Oh, you're talking about
That's
the
neo-Nazi
skeleton
guy.
He
Yeah.
looks like Brunette
Yeah,
Dog the
yeah.
Bounty Hunter. That's, yeah.
that guy. Dog was with them.
Brunette Dog.
I got that
Brunette
dog in me. I
and
don't got
he's
that dog in me.
he's having no nonsense. He's not fucking around. He shoots all the guards of the truck because he's a rude boy.
Rude boy, Rihanna.
For just no reason. I remember thinking like, oh man, like it sucks that these guys are just.
Well, the
held
one tried to
up.
be
It's
a
just
hero.
Their job.
I
Yeah,
think
and
then
then
they-
he
he just
would
went
want to be a
after-
hero
yeah.
after the other guy was
Yeah.
shot. Though.
Yeah.
And De Niro kept telling him, "Don't shoot him."
Yeah.
Like he's fine. They can't hear you.
Yeah.
He pointed out, he was like, they have
They're
blood in their
blood-
ears. Yeah, they can't hear you. He's
Yeah.
just staring at you because he's like shocked. And
Yeah,
he took it as a threat and decided to shoot.
yeah.
So then Pacino shows up to the crime scene doing his detective thing.
Yeah.
being a heist police.
A heist police.
A very real heist police.
He's a great heist policer.
LAPD heist unit.
That's what I thought. I'm like, at first, like, he goes to work another time, and I'm like, is he like homicide desk? And everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I thought he was like robbery or something. But no, it's because, the first heist, they turn into a triple homicide.
Yeah.
So.
He's got a wife. He's got a stepdaughter who has a dad who doesn't care about her. And it's
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nor do we, the viewers. At least in my experience.
that family plot kind of missed with me.
Ooh. Oh boy. Shouldn't have brought it up. Or it's relatable. I don't know. Someone
No,
might
I
have,
mean, they didn't give his wife or Natalie Portman enough screen time for to make me care about them that much, really.
Yeah.
I could agree with that, actually. We didn't see a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, all we got to know was, okay, her stepdad's shitty, and, Pacino's at work all the time, and then he has to pick her up from the bus station, and then it's, this big final scene where,
Yeah.
But-
Well, yeah, there's a scene, I want to say halfway through the movie, where he gets into a big argument with her because he leaves a party or something. And
to go
she's
to
like,
work.
all you do is work. And he's like, I'm saving lives. Don't you fucking tell me. And he's like,
She's like, you just look at dead people all day.
Yeah.
I think something like that is what she said.
Dead people are still people.
Yeah.
and it's like, you date the guy. Like,
Yeah.
you know what you signed up for. You
Yeah.
live
put
with
a
him.
ring on it.
Yeah.
Like,
She put a ring on it. She got him in that nice house with no railing.
yeah.
Yeah.
You might end up one of the
She's
fucking
just
dead
trying
bodies.
to get his life insurance claim.
Yeah,
she had the
maybe.
railing removed one day. She's just
Yeah.
looking for the right time to kick him down the stairs.
He's a police officer. It's not the wrong move.
Yeah. They get a big old pension.
Yeah. The De Niro love plot, it kind of bothered me.
Yeah, again, just
She
didn't
felt
care.
useless,
Out of
too.
nowhere.
She was
I'm a
useless.
graphic
They
designer.
just met at the cafe one night.
Yeah,
Just,
and she's like, I work at the bookstore near your house.
I see you in there all the time.
Yeah. But we don't see him go to the bookstore and she
He's
recognizes
in there once before.
No, he's at the library.
Or
He's
is it
in the
the
reference
bookstore?
area at the library to look at schematics for the building. Is that the
I
scene you're
thought that was
thinking
the
of?
bookstore that she worked at, and that's where we're
Maybe.
supposed to get that connection. Is
I
that
didn't get the
scene where-
connection at all.
Yeah, I think they were in the library. He was looking at
I could be wrong.
blueprints for buildings in the reference section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to be the connection. Was that was the bookstore, and that's where
They just need to get a cut of her just looking over the desk.
Yeah,
That's all
right.
we needed.
just put her in that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and she just walks up to him at a diner and starts talking to him, and he's just like, leave me alone, bitch. But then he was like, oh, no, actually pretty cute. Like, let's,
Yeah. So they do that first heist, and then, we get introduced to Al Pacino and his family and everything, and then...
De Niro meets the girl.
Yeah, the heist crew's at the diner, and the
Heisters.
Dog the Bounty Hunter runs off on him.
Yeah,
Remember
they're
they
about
get-
to
wanna
kill him.
Yeah.
Right. But when my favorite part too is when they're in the diner, he says to the brunette Dog the Bounty Hunter guy, he slams his head on the table and he's
Yeah.
like, I want to pay this dickhead off and get him out of here, implying that they're just gonna pay him and then take him outside.
Yeah.
They're gonna shoot him. There was no silencer on that gun in that scene.
There was. I'm
And-
like, dude, if you're going to execute a guy, don't do it in a fucking diner parking lot.
Right,
Yeah.
But going back to the De Niro love story, I like
Yeah.
in that one night stand he has with her.
Uh-huh.
He gets up and puts his full suit back on. Suit, coat, all the buttons
He's ready to
up,
go.
tucks the shirt in. He's like, yeah, this is a man who does not fuck around. He's putting
ready
the
to
full
go.
suit back on.
Walk
And
of
it's 3
shame
in the
for
morning.
chumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the double-breasted suit. He's looking good in this movie.
Yeah.
The suit jackets were a little big,
They were.
but it was also the 90s.
I was
Yeah.
going to say that
It's
was
a Michael
style.
Mann joint. You gotta expect people wearing oversized clothes. That's his signature. Speaking of which, this entire movie, I was thinking, this looks just like a fucking Bay flick.
I thought that's who directed it for a minute, and then I had to look it up on my
Michael
phone.
Bay,
Yeah.
Michael Mann, Men's
Bay
and
and
Bays.
Michael Bay Man.
Yeah, Michael Bayman.
Michael
Yeah,
Bay.
that'd be the ultimate collaboration.
Michael Bay Man movie.
Michael, yeah,
Well, because, Michael Mann would put useless characterization in it,
uh-huh.
and then the Michael Bay over-the-top action, they would kind of cancel each other out. That might be perfect.
That might be perfect. That would
Plus
be
an
a
ensemble cast.
Yeah, it'd be like the yin and yang of the
Or
two
we could
styles.
just end
That would
up
be
with
the-
an Expendables movie.
Yeah.
if Michael Bay and Michael Mann directed a movie together, it would just be a John Woo flick.
I haven't seen Rush
Okay,
Hour.
never mind. That didn't land. Shut up.
Yeah, so they're at the diner. The guy runs off.
Yeah.
De Niro goes to meet with the heist planner guy who's only in that one scene.
The guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, he's only in
Yes.
that one scene.
They go
Who
up
is
to
That is true.
Oh yeah,
to get the big heist.
He's like their
John,
intel
John
guy.
Voight is like the main guy.
with the mustache and the long
Yeah,
hair.
John
I
Voight.
recognize
Yeah,
him. I didn't know
Yeah.
his name. Yeah.
is that John Voight?
That was John Voight is in the film.
Yeah.
He looks like a combination of like
He looks
Tiger
like
King
Bill
looks
Burr,
like
like
shit.
wearing
Looks like
Somebody
a
like-
cowboy Tiger King.
Cowboy
looking
Tiger
guy.
King /
Yeah.
a little bit of Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
he just
he
bolo
takes-
ties.
yeah,
That's
it's
what
gotta
it
be
was.
He
Yeah.
takes De Niro up to the hills to meet
Yeah.
with that guy in the wheelchair who has that big job planned for them.
Yeah,
To see if he wants to take it on, and they start discussing the planning and all that.
yeah.
I saw that scene, and the first thing I thought is that the character Lester from the story mode in GTA 5 seemed to be based off that character.
This whole movie, in my
loosely.
opinion, felt very GTA 5.
Because it's in Los
very,
Angeles,
right?
yeah.
Very
There's a lot of
welcomed.
scenes where you're like, "Oh, I was there in GTA 5."
Literally, yeah.
Also doing a heist.
There's one towards the end of the movie where like they got police choppers looking around and stuff. I'm like, yep, I've had 5 stars
Yeah,
before.
I was gonna say they got a 5-star.
At one point, I leaned over to my roommate, was like, he definitely has 5 stars.
Yeah.
They're shooting at police.
Yeah, that's
Especially
The ending. It's like, yeah, I've ran around on the airport.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally, I said
Yeah.
the same thing. I'm like, yeah, no, it's definitely GTA because we're in the little houses they keep the airplanes in. I can't remember the name of them.
But yeah, they get the big job from the wheelchair guy who's only in that one scene.
He
oddly
served his
enough.
purpose.
Yeah, I guess so. He was like the nerdy guy who had all the blueprints and the intel. And
Maybe that was like the Stan Lee of like the Heat-verse.
True, yeah. It's like Michael Mann's older brother or
Yeah.
something. He wanted
His
to
mom
be
was
in one
like, Michael,
scene.
put him in the fucking movie.
Yeah.
He
His
fell.
stepdad really wanted
Yeah.
to be in the
He
movie.
fell off the roof putting Christmas lights on, and that's why he's in the wheelchair. He's like, he's been really depressed since the accident. You think
Put
you
him
could
in the movie.
give him a character in the movie? Yeah.
Shut up, mom.
Oh, man.
And then after that, they go, and this is something I would talk about too. There's this whole plot line with like the black guys, and I just did not know really what was going on. Because
Al
they go to the
Pacino-
chop shop. Al Pacino goes to the chop shop to be like, I need,
He does his black guy voice.
yeah, he does.
He does his robotics lingo.
Just walks in, starts dapping people up.
Yeah,
That
so
was hilarious. Yeah, he goes to the club and like everyone knows him at the club.
So the guy at the chop shop is like, "Oh, meet me at the club tomorrow night
Yeah.
at 2 a.m. and I'll introduce you to this other guy who will give you info." And so Pacino gets there, and at first he's all pissed because he doesn't think they have any info.
Uh-huh.
But then he mentions a guy named Slick or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's the tie-in to the first heist. And
Mm-hmm.
someone said Slick from the homeless guy watching the TV.
Yeah.
In the first heist, that's all he heard was someone say Slick.
That
Yeah.
homeless guy fascinated me so much. I'm like, he's walking around with a mobile television and it's
In
95.
1995, yeah.
He should be the main character.
He had a CRTV and a fucking shopping cart.
Yeah, that weighed like 70 pounds. It was a big TV. It wasn't a
But
little
so
one.
then, yeah, Pacino gets tipped off while at the club to the guy named Slick, and that
Yeah.
ends up being the guy with the short gray hair. But one of my favorite parts about the club scene is that it's like an all African American club, and he walks in and they're playing House of Pain. Which is an all white boy rap group.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how hot they were in the 90s to
They were
be
hot.
to be being played at a black club, but I noticed that. and I was
Yeah,
just
we were like, what is up
interesting.
with that? Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Brad, you were in the 90s. What was that like?
You were in
It
the
was
90s.
it was very pre 9/11.
Yeah.
You could wear shoes at the airport. It was wild.
The end of history.
Shoes at the airport.
It's all downhill from there.
That'd be cool
You
if
could
the,
wear shoes at the airport as like a 3-year-old. And like
yeah, there's like
that's
an age
yeah.
thing. But I was gonna say that'd be cool if the airport was like a big Japanese house. Like you walk in and just no shoes anywhere.
Then
like
the
you-
airport would stink.
Yeah.
That'd be cool though.
Very unsanitary.
Yeah.
You get athlete's foot from walking on the marble.
Yeah, man.
No thanks, man.
It gives those people who take their shoes off and put their bare feet on like the chair in front of them on the airplane, like
Yeah.
that armrest. It gives those people like more reason to be awful.
Like the scene in Die Hard.
Yeah.
Take your shoes off.
Scrunch your toes on the yeah.
Bruce Willis called it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get hooked up. So now the heat's on, right?
The heat's on because Pacino finds out from the
The
club
titular Heat.
who Slick is.
Yeah.
Did anybody else count how many times they say heat in this movie besides
No, but
me?
it's a lot.
I counted 5.
Okay. Because every time De Niro says that quote, he says the heat.
Yeah.
Which is it's like something about as soon as the heat's coming, you got 30 seconds flat to get around the
Yeah,
next
you
corner
have
or
to
something like that.
Forget and disassociate.
Yeah.
Which was funny because, like, yeah, to Val Kilmer, he's like, don't get into, like, a relationship, whatever. And then he was with that girl. And in the final
Is in
scene,
a
they're, like,
relationship.
together, and he's going to kill the neo-Nazi Dog the Bounty Hunter in the hotel. And I was just thinking, like, this whole relationship he could have walked away from in 30 seconds, judging
And
from
he's still here.
he's still here. I don't know.
And she knows too, like him being a heist guy, that he's just gonna walk at any given moment
Yeah.
in time. And she decides to stay. And
They try to give him an arc like that, like, oh, he was gonna run away
He was
with this
gonna
girl.
arc,
and it just,
yeah.
he was gonna arc. Yeah, he did not arc.
Yeah, Val Kilmer, he had some sort of PTSD, and so he was like abusive to his wife, but he was also like a good man.
but a gambling addict as well.
Yeah, gambling addict.
So like
They made $90K off that. Was it $90K?
off the first heist.
Yeah, I believe so.
It was like 100 apiece around
Yeah,
there, something like that. Yeah. But
I don't know
you're
why I
saying
remember
Val
that.
Kilmer was a good man. I don't know if a woman abusing
Yeah,
gambling
in spite
addict
of- in
has a
spite
lot
of
of
that,
redeemable
She hasn't met a
qualities.
lot of men.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, there's a child here.
But when De Niro approaches everyone to say like, "Oh, are you guys in for this last final heist?" and then we can all retire and walk away. My favorite is when Val Kilmer's answer for like, "Are you in for the final heist?" is just like, "Vegas cleaned me out, man. The Super Bowl got me down bad. He's like, I need to do one more heist so I can blow it all again next February."
Val Kilmer's
guy.
down bad.
Yeah.
I wonder who won the Super Bowl that year, 94.
95? Oh, 94.
Well, it's probably like a Niners.
only there was a
team.
machine.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
that was
Niners.
Cowboys dynasty era. That was Cowboys dynasty.
Okay,
era. Might have been
Cowboys
a
were hot
Cowboys
then.
team.
Yeah.
And Neon Deion Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
So okay, yeah, and his wife is cheating on him with HankAzaria, and that's how he gets roped into it. I think he's like an LA like bookie guy or something.
And then he turns rat.
Yeah.
No, he was like a crooked cop in Vegas. Don't they go to his
Yeah. I'm at
'Cause they go to
Vegas.
his-
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
they
know
go
why
to
I
his-
I
said
don't
LA.
think he was a crooked cop.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
think he was like a bookie of something, but he was in
was like some
Vegas,
gambling commission.
and he was
Okay.
like, "You don't have jurisdiction here."
Okay, yeah.
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I got jurisdiction everywhere.
That's the asses scene. I was
Yeah.
waiting for him
Yeah.
to do the Mo Sizlak voice the whole movie.
The what?
He'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
Al Pacino, your tabs
Just do
open.
any Simpsons voice.
Yeah, I wanted him to do a voice.
Sneak
I
one
wanted
in
him to
there.
do the Abu voice.
The voice,
in
one of the
there.
voices he doesn't do anymore.
Yeah.
It was his last chance.
Revisionist history. He does the whole movie in Apu voice.
They put him in brown face, and he's just. I am the gambling commissioner in Las Vegas.
Let's get what's his name, Topher Grace, to edit the movie so he
Yeah.
does like, fucking Apu voice throughout the entire movie. We forgot that William Fichtner is like a finance bro who owns like
That's
bearer
who that guy
bonds.
was.
Oh,
What did
yeah.
you say? You called him something that I thought was so funny.
His last name is like Van Noy or something. in
No,
the
it's,
movie.
fucking
the guy they steal
Van
the-
Zandt.
Van Zandt.
Yeah,
they steal
Dutch
the bail
last
bonds
name.
from him
Yeah.
in the first heist, and then he's coming back after them. We kind of glanced over that scene where he sends the crew to De Niro to pick the bond papers back
Yes,
up.
that's what they stole at the first heist.
Yes,
was
so they
bond.
steal the
Yeah.
bond papers at the first heist that belong to this rich guy, and then like halfway through the movie, the rich guy goes to get the bond papers back, and he sends that crew, and they're trying to run up on De Niro with that Uzi,
Yeah.
and Val Kilmer has the scope, and then they
Yeah.
pin the guy between the car, and they get away. And
Yeah.
Then they
That was a sweet scene.
That was
Then
a
they
good scene,
start
yeah.
having problems, Mr. De Niro and Mr. Van Noy or whatever the hell his last name is.
Yeah.
Van Zandt, yeah.
And that's another great scene between the two of them is when he's on the phone in the restaurant after all that happens.
Who
De
it? De Niro?
Niro's
Yeah,
talking to Van Zandt on the phone after that whole shootout.
Yeah, they have a
happens.
big family dinner.
Oh no, before that.
Oh,
even.
okay.
It's like right after the shootout where he sends the goons.
Oh, when
to
they're
go
at the
get bail
diner?
bonds
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
And he gets on the phone at the diner and he's talking to Van Zandt on the other end. And Van Zandt is like, "Who is this? Who am I talking to?" And De Niro goes, "A fucking dead." Or no, he's like,
I'm not talking to anyone.
He's like, "I'm
There's a
not
dead
talking to
man on the
anyone.
other
There's a
line."
fucking dead man on the other end of this phone."
Yeah.
I thought that was a
good
line.
scene.
Yeah.
On the topic of phones, did anybody catch Al Pacino's complete lack of phone etiquette throughout this entire film?
Yeah, he's
He just answers the phone like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he doesn't at all. When he's about to hang up, he doesn't at all imply that he's like done with the conversation or anything. Like
just
whether,
hangs
whether
up.
he's talking to like his cop buddies or
a
literally
busy guy.
anybody. He's just like, "Yeah," and then he hangs the phone up.
he's
Even
got
with
a
his
car
wife?
phone.
He does have car phone.
Yes, it's true.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
he's-
No,
That
it
was
was
a
a
nice
90s
car
cell
phone.
phone. I thought it was like
It was a car phone.
He probably had both.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably
It was,
both.
it was. I believe it was in one of the police cruisers, maybe. That
Oh,
they had
okay,
phone.
yeah.
Makes sense.
But I saw car phone too. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time he was on the phone, I was like, how's he going to do it this time?
Yeah.
And then every
just
time.
chucks it.
Did not disappoint me. If he would have chucked it, that would have made my entire
That would have been
day.
the yeah. We got to get De Niro in one of our sketches to just throw phones at us.
Yeah, we'll get Bob.
I feel like that's probably
Not
how
De
he
Niro,
is on the
fucking
phone, like in
one's
real
Al
life.
Pacino,
Too.
yeah.
Just as obtainable.
He yeah. He's got to toss him fucking $1 million. Yeah, you know they do that now.
He's a father of a child.
Yeah, that's there's some news recently. He had to like settle for like child support or some shit.
And then
Like
he had a kid recently.
yeah,
too. Yeah. Which is
for that kid he had to
wild.
pay child support for it.
He likes
And,
black
shit.
ladies, doesn't he?
I think
believe
De
so,
Niro
yeah.
does too. Yeah,
It might just be a Hollywood thing.
maybe.
All the shorter white boys in Hollywood go after black ladies. That might be a
Bill
thing.
Maher.
We stand a short king. Good for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There is something within the past few years. They call it the geezer teaser or the geezer sleazer, something like that, where it's basically just like, you know, these film producer guys who get these tax credits, so they just pay like some old Hollywood superstar like $1 million to be in their movie, and they just make like bullshit movies that go right to like Voodoo or whatever. That's like what they were doing with Bruce Willis a bunch.
Is he okay?
No, he's not.
He's
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
Damn. Sad.
But that's why he was doing all those movies, because he said like he wanted to make a ton of money before he like just lost.
That's why I figured they do those shitty movies. They just
Yeah.
want to check.
Yeah.
What you just described, that reminds me of kind of the plot of Ed Wood with Bela
Yeah,
Lugosi.
yeah.
Just like, I'm
Yeah.
just going to keep going till I can't.
Well, he had a heroin
what happened
addiction to
with
feed
him,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, priorities.
R.I.P.
Hey, Philip Seymour Hoffman was addicted to heroin too, and I cannot name a lot of shitty movies he was in.
That's true.
Yeah.
Bangers only.
I wouldn't say only. There's like a couple mid ones, but he's in a lot of good shit too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, obviously I'm not a famous actor, so I can't judge them for being in shitty movies. But also,
I can.
I like to think that as someone who has only acted in one like legitimate thing, I'd have a bit more taste in my movies than I pick. But I don't know.
But you need that like third Porsche, you know, and you're like,
good
I
point.
can do.
Third Porsche.
Yeah, like
Sell the other two.
my 6-car garage isn't full yet.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll do the Voodoo movie.
I'm a completionist. I respect that.
Yeah.
There's only 5 cars being. He's like beating his wife. Like, I need another car. I need it.
I'll do Fast and Furious 6 to get my 6th car.
Yeah.
What has Pacino been in lately?
Jackie Chan.
I can't think of anything.
Irishman.
Yeah, but I
Crazy
mean,
recently.
the Irishman was like 2018.
His baby mama.
No, that was Irishman was like 2020. I think.
Oh, okay.
That was a bit more recent.
Okay.
It's me, Jimmy Hoffa.
Irishman cracked me up because in that one, I think they say, I hear you paint houses, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm a salesman.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
some sort of like metal salesman or
Something like that. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
But De Niro claims to be a metal salesman when he meets the girl in Heat too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we were.
Oh, what? I thought you were talking about. Did I miss something?
You guys were talking about painting houses in the Irishman.
No, he was talking about
That's what I
painting
was talking
houses,
about.
but then
And then I
I
remember,
said in
yeah.
this movie he says that he sells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Okay.
very
Very
similar.
action.
They're
Got
similar
it.
things.
Yeah, flew right over my head.
What the? Right, this
Sheesh.
is our fucking crew for the heist.
Half the
How
shit
are
we
we
talk
gonna
about goes
commit
right
the
over my
heist?
head, but
Yeah.
I stay afloat.
Yeah, half the shit I say goes over my head.
I feel that so much.
But if we want to set up well for our theoretical heist,
Yep.
back to Heat, I think a great thing that they do in that movie is once they know the heat's on, De Niro takes the crew to the docks, the port,
Yeah.
and just has them scoping nothing, just looking at bullshit because he knows the cops are following them.
Yeah.
And then after they leave, Pacino goes down and he's like, "Oh, what were they scoping out? What were they looking at?" Then 5 minutes later, he's like, "They were looking at us, boys, the LAPD."
That was good.
That was great. It was good use of smart heist planning technology
I think that's the thing with a lot of heist
to
movies.
bamboozle the cops.
You watch it and you're like, I could rob a bank. Like, look, I would have thought of that. That's so, like, I could do that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah. We'll talk about that a bit more in our next movie because that was something I noticed a lot. I'll save it for later.
in the tune.
Check it out next week in our episode that we're going to do next week. We get a little tease for retention. That's what they say.
Movie in next week's episode and movie we're talking about today have a shit ton of similarities.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
Like a crazy amount. I was watching and like almost a lot of things that were going on. I was like, oh yeah, movie from next week's episode.
Yeah.
Movie from next week's episode.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I noticed that, I don't know if anyone caught this. I mean, I brought it up when we watched it, but huge continuity error. So there's the part where the dog, the neo-Nazi, is like, he fucks
Neo-Nazi.
he bangs that, like,
Underage
black
girl.
hooker.
The very underage.
I
Yeah.
think
It's
they
like
say she's
16.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then he kills her. And so, Al Pacino shows up, homicide unit, and he
opens
thinks
the
it's
bag.
So when he kills her, she has her hair straight.
Not straight. It's
Well,
frizzy, but
it's
out.
like, yeah, she has a weave in. And so when he opens the body bag, she
Her
has
hair's like cornrow.
dreadlocks. Yeah.
It's not dreadlocks. They're braids.
Yeah, braids.
They're like
It's-
cornrow braids.
Yeah, it's just not the same
What
person
did
at
dog
all.
the neo-Nazi killer then give her cornrows?
Yeah, it's.
He looked weird enough. He probably do.
And he was
he
in
had some
jail.
time.
He might have learned how to do them.
Hey, that's
But
how,
I don't know
that's how
how-
you don't get stabbed in. Is you learn how to either cut or do hair.
Do hair.
Were they wearing masks in the opening robbery?
Yeah, they
they
have
had
the
the
hockey
hockey
match.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
that's right.
little Jason Voorhees
The
action.
Atlanta smash and grabbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just was not even the same actress when they opened the body bag. I'm like, how did no one?
It might have been the
catch
same
that?
actress, but she might have just had her hair braided.
Well, then
before
how
they
did
shot
no one
this.
catch
They
that
shot it
either?
3 months later.
Yeah, I
right.
guess it's
Or
something
even
like
the next
that.
day, but
That's crazy. That was just crazy to me.
It was odd to see that.
The standout for that scene was when Pacino's hugging the mom of the dead girl.
Yeah, he
And the
grabbed
hug
her.
is like very like obviously she's traumatized, so you're not
Yeah.
gonna react, comfortably. But it seemed like he was trying to get her in like a death grip, or
Yeah.
something, like a headlock.
For sure. I mean, that was a very raw scene.
Yeah,
That was
100%.
pretty good.
Very
yeah.
well put together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Dennis Hasburnt, the Allstate guy. And he's
There you go.
Mayhem.
no,
You're talking about Progressive. No, you're not
no,
Progressive.
he's the Allstate guy.
The black guy.
Allstate. Yeah.
He is the
Okay,
Allstate.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Dennis
that,
Hasburnt, is that his name?
I think
I
so.
don't know the
I
actor's
also
name.
Googled it while
Yeah.
I was
that
watching
whole
it.
plot made me really sad too. Because his girlfriend keeps trying to be like, just work at the dishwashing job. Like, it'll work out eventually. You just got to get through parole. Just work at the dish. Like, everything will be all right. And, yeah.
Just immediately gets murked. I don't know. That plot was like, who, this guy? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. It didn't really land.
Considering his fate, I felt kind of cheated. I was like, oh, that was a wasted investment.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because we really felt, I mean, at least me, I was like, felt like I cared about that.
He was on the up and up.
He was one of the story. He was one of the characters I was more like, I want to see what happens.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
felt like he was going to be very redeeming in the end. And
yeah.
then
That's the
he
thing,
just-
because he's set up very early in the film, and then he doesn't meet De Niro. I want to say until like after
Yeah.
halfway.
after
Yeah,
halfway, damn
Yeah.
near the third act.
Yeah. And he,
And De Niro just recruits him right then and there for the heist, just
Yeah.
in the restaurant. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Classic I quit my job scene, like where he rips the apron off.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck
you,
the
fuck
ass.
Off
you,
the
fuck
chef's
you. You're
hat,
cool.
yeah.
Fuck you. I'm
I'm
out.
out.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
His
to
boss
him.
was a real dickhead, though.
Oh, he was
Yes.
a real piece of shit.
That boss looked like a dickhead
They
too.
wrote him to be the absolute worst possible boss.
That kind of boss, I profiled him immediately. I was like, this is a dude who got the shit kicked out of him in high school, so now he's like the boss of a restaurant.
Small business tyrant.
Yeah, so that's like, this is my villain era.
Yeah. He like bought a little Caesar's chain and treats everyone there like a rodent.
Yeah.
It's that picture of, you guys seen that McDonald's lady? She's got the shortcut hair and she's in her manager's uniform. And it says, I know this bitch runs McDonald's.
Like the Navy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
runs
love that
McDonald's
meme.
like it's the
But
damn
Oh
thing.
my
that's
God,
that
I
guy.
love that.
I know this bullied immigrant runs this diner like the Navy.
he just wants people to get their French toast. Yeah. R.I.P. to him.
So we're moving into the final thing now.
Well, yeah, we can move into the final.
The final heist.
The final heist. It's our last big heist, boys, and we're gonna make it big.
Which was crazy to me because I thought, I mean, I didn't because I knew how long the movie was. I'm like, this feels like the finale, and I'm just sitting there like,
Yeah.
God, there's another
there's so
30
much
minutes.
more
There's another
after the
30
heist,
minutes of
yeah.
this movie
Yeah.
after
I was
it.
looking at, not like looking at my phone, but I was checking the time quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
was
toughie.
really expecting it to be over after like the big shootout.
Yeah, I thought there'd be like the falling action and then we're out, but there's like another 30 whole minutes of the movie.
But when they're disabling the alarms, that's the scene where they're looking at each other through the
Yeah.
truck and the infrared camera. And who is it that's drilling? And he's like right about to get there. And
Was
then
it
he's like,
Val
no, dude.
Kilmer?
Yeah, it's Val
Yeah.
Kilmer.
Yeah.
And
He was
De
like,
Niro's
"Don't-"
like, we
yeah.
got to get the fuck out of here, man. He's like, but I'm almost there. And he's like, we got to leave now.
I found that interesting. I'm like, oh, you could just knock a hole in that ceiling in this here parking structure, and there's an entire fucking motherboard and whatnot.
yeah. That was cool too when they were doing that.
But then when Pacino catches them doing the planning through the truck, and then there's that other cop who's like, why don't we get him right here? Let's take a shot or arrest him or whatever. And Pacino's like, this is my investigation.
Yeah.
I have jurisdiction.
That's the thing is they interacted with them quite a bit and never. I don't know the rules of policing, but I was like, you have pretty substantial evidence that. I think he said like, what are we going to get them on breaking and entering?
Yeah.
Well,
He was trying
At
to build a
what point can
case.
you arrest
Yeah.
them?
He
Which
was-
is a similar trope in the movie next week's episode.
Yeah.
I remember he was
Yeah.
making the point of like, okay, they get 6 months and then they're out. Like
Right.
for what
Yeah.
for what they could have busted
Yeah.
for at that moment.
They wanted to like build a case and get something
it was
like big.
Yeah.
I remember now. It was like breaking in and not stealing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the kind of I think that's what he he made like some sort of a thing with the black guys where he was saying like I'll let you guys run your business if you help me with
Yeah,
this
when he's
case.
at the club.
Yeah.
He basically told them like your illegal chop shop is legal for the time being, but
Yeah.
I need your help. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's, kind of a crooked cop, but he's not.
Well, that's
he
just
wants to
working
do
with
good, but
informants. Is
I
I
was
think
gonna
what
say
he
that's
was
kind of the
doing.
game. I've
Yeah.
gathered
Yeah.
at least from a bunch of different movies and TV shows.
From movies. That's what we've got.
and TV.
I know how
The Wire-
policing works.
The Wire
Crime
seems
documentaries.
to be a very accurate depiction of
That's what they say.
and they have informants in The Wire.
Brad,
so-
you went to Baltimore. What was it like?
Is it just like The Wire?
We're big Wire fans, me and
Oh,
Riley.
gotcha.
So
Were there
yeah.
black people?
Black people.
Yo, man, I'm
No.
from Baltimore.
Them 22s bounce right off from.
There was a severe lack of like commemoration to John Waters, which I found disappointing.
Yeah.
I was like, this should be like
That's his
from
town.
Baltimore.
there should be a statue of John Waters in Baltimore, and there's nothing.
There should be at least two.
Not even so much as a street that I saw. At least I'm sure it exists.
Not even a plaque anywhere.
Not that I could see. So I
There's
was
no
like,
John
this-
Waters
They probably
childhood
did
home
like
museum.
at like the theater.
yeah, I was gonna say,
'Cause
I'm
I
sure
know
something.
That's like how he
exists, but-
started out. Was like he would rent out a theater and like show his movies there.
There's like one small picture of him in the back of that theater.
Right.
That's
His
all
little
there is.
mustache.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I was disappointed by that. Other than that, Baltimore's fine.
I've heard it compared
Seafood.
to Detroit. Like it's like equally as shitty, kind of, or is it
But it has
different?
its good parts, too.
I was in like
Well,
the-
yeah, I'm not trying to shit
Yeah.
fully on Detroit, but
No, I
like
get-
a similar vibe at least to the area.
I would agree with that. The area I was in, at least, and it was pretty much downtown Baltimore. It was kind of like, it reminded me of like kind of not a great example, but it's kind of like Brooklyn-y, like Brooklyn, New York. Like
Yeah, it's an older city.
Hipster.
They have, like the row
older,
houses. and-
like I wouldn't say it's dirty, but like the houses were all built in like the 1900s,
Yeah.
1920s,
They're row
probably.
homes.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I don't know. It was, I would say, similar vibe to Detroit is definitely like on par, I guess.
yeah.
Are we hipsters?
Why do you
no.
ask?
Your pants are looking a little tight there, Joe.
They are.
Hipsters-
You might have to.
Hipsters
but I-
don't listen to podcasts, so I think we're quite the
Hipsters
opposite.
don't host podcasts.
I don't think they
I-
listen to they listen
No,
to
because-
podcasts on vinyl.
Dude, Gen Z's.
Vinyl. So a comedy album on vinyl. That's about the only thing I can think of that you could get on vinyl.
Do
like
Gen
that.
Z's count as hipster? Like, can Gen
I think
Zers
hipsters are
be
dead. That's a dead culture.
That's like a millennial thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
All those people have like
Hipsters have been
kids
around
and
since
shit
the
now.
50s.
Yeah.
No, I thought Gavin McInnes invented hipsters.
I think it was
Did.
less generational and more cultural, right?
Yeah, it was a cultural thing.
I guess.
We remember when we went over to Jer's house the other day, and he was like, "What are these two hipsters doing here?"
Yeah, our
you guys?
stepdad and him like, motherfucker, you're wearing a fedora.
We
You're
went
trying
over
to
to
call
our
us a
step-
What the
hipster.
We went over to our stepdad's house, and he had like a straw fedora house on, and I was wearing parachute pants, and I walked up to the house, and he was like, "What are these two hipsters doing here?" I was like, "What?" First
Yeah,
of all,
I don't
That's
think
at the
Gen Z
very
is
least pot
considered
kettle.
hipster.
yeah, first time in my life I've ever been called a hipster.
I would say I don't think parachute pants make you a hipster. I think, I think it's just hip.
yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, we got to create a new term for Gen Zers who are annoying.
Zoomers. They're
Zoomers.
I was to say they're pretty creative themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me and my girlfriend, whenever we see like the bussin' haircut, are quick to call it out.
The bus.
Oh,
Oh, the
Bussin'
bussin'
haircut.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
bussin'
It's the
haircut?
white boy fade.
bald fade on the sides, almost a perm on top.
Yeah.
Again, it's kind of like.
Did you see the new
forward.
Avatar?
Yeah.
The
The way of
The little-
water.
the
The water
spider?
sun. No, the
Spider has
water-
like lost. He has white boy dreads.
Yeah.
the
a
son
character named
of
Spider.
the
There's
a
son
character
of
named
the
Spider.
water prince has a
Yeah,
bussin'
you know, there's like the
haircut.
bully kids of
Yeah,
the water
I don't
tribe.
remember their hair.
He has like he literally has like the bussin' haircut. Did you see it, Brad?
I have not seen it.
Okay.
But
It's a
I
very
can
UK
definitely
haircut.
envision.
Yes, there's a Navi
Yeah,
with
it's-
the bussin' haircut.
I did not
UK
enjoy any
is-
aspect of that film. So
Fuck
yeah.
off! I loved every second
love
of that
that
movie.
movie?
I
The way of water.
Yeah.
I
we're
loved it.
Avatar stands in this.
Loved Way of Water.
Yeah,
I
I
family.
respect it.
I hated that movie.
I like Jim Cameron. a
I
lot.
just wanted it to end. I was like, why did I do
I
this?
thought
to
it was
myself?
so good.
It was beautiful.
Dude, there was like 3 climaxes.
Yeah, because it's good.
And it made me climax more than that.
Ew. You know who else climaxed is Al Pacino in this movie.
Yeah, I have here Pacino walked so Nick Cage could run.
in like over
Yeah.
In
the
terms of,
screaming.
like overacting
I
and
love
being
that.
good acting and like selling it and actually making it work.
He is better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
He's another one of those guys who was doing all those movies, but I think now that he's paid his taxes off, he's starting to starting to get. He's in that movie where everybody dreams about him. Did you guys see that?
There's a movie where everyone dreams about Nick Cage.
Not Nick Cage. He plays
You mean
like
my
just-
life?
Yeah. It's just real life.
Every night.
Every
dude.
night he visits.
It's a different Nick Cage movie.
I would love
Last
that. There's
night
at
was
least
Pig.
there's at least 90 Nick Cages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Con Air
200.
the night before.
Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart.
Did you guys watch our Wild at Heart episode? It's one of my favorites.
Mine too.
I watched it.
Great
Yeah.
jacket.
It's a
Did you
good
like
one.
it? Did you watch Wild at Heart?
Wait, you watched it?
Yeah, I watched the Wild at Heart
watched-
episode.
Oh, the
Not Wild
episode.
at Heart.
I thought you meant the
I watched
movie.
the episode, not the movie. I feel like I have enough information though.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, he fucking shoots him and he dies and they embrace. That's yeah.
At the end of Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I really like when they're like peeking around all the boxes and
Yeah.
there's the homosexual tension building. I like that a lot. What I don't like is the final death scene where he shoots him and then he walks up to him and like shakes hands with him and is like, "Oh, it was nice to chase you" or whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
come on,
I would have liked
man.
more interactions with them to have that sort of ending where it's like, it's like Magneto, Professor X type of where they're good friends or something.
Right.
They're
yeah.
like the rival
It's
masters.
honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like an honorable
Like a face-off
rivalry.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have enough.
They should have done a
interaction with
face-off
one
in this
another.
movie.
I would love to see Pacino De Niro face off. Oh my god, that would be incredible. That scene I did like. However, I think it could have been 2 minutes shorter. Because at a certain point, I was like, okay, one of them's got to see the other. Then the
Yeah.
plane eventually showed up, I guess.
But there were planes flying by the whole time, and
That is true.
None of the other planes showed a shadow, and then there's no
Yeah,
one
that's
plane
true.
decided to.
That's what I
caught the
said
right angle.
during that scene. I'm like, okay, there's like a shootout going on in that hotel. I'm like, all of these flights would be grounded at this point if
Yeah.
there's like 2 dudes with guns on the tarmac.
Yeah.
And then Grant tried to be like, well, LAX is one of the busiest airports in the world. I'm like, what? So they're just gonna ignore that? Then they're like, oh, we're sorry, we can't make you miss your flight to Singapore,
I mean,
sir.
LA 95 gunshots weren't uncommon.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pacino just called the airport and was like, "I'm gonna be shooting over here. Don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
It's just me.
It's just me. I'm a cop.
Yeah,
you don't
everyone
have to
just lets
ground
them
any
do whatever they
flights.
want in this
I got
movie.
it handled."
Yeah.
And he was a lieutenant, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want.
They had an insane, like, bloody ass shootout in the middle of downtown LA after their second heist goes awry.
Yeah, that was a crazy scene.
Who
where
grabs the kid and then they smoke
Michael
him?
something?
Oh, okay. The guy who I
The
thought
guy they
was
get onto.
off-brand Jude Law.
The guy-
He
yeah.
looked a little bit like off
He
Kirk.
looks like WWE Jude Law. He's like a bigger, beefier American version of Jude Law.
Is
Jude
he
Punishment.
The
Jude Punishment.
There's Jude Law and there's Jude Punishment.
Jude Order.
Order.
Jude Execution.
Jude Judge.
Jude Judge.
Judge Jude.
Judge.
Judge,
Jude.
Jude, Jury, and Executioner.
Judge Dredd Jude Law. Tongue twister over here.
Was he William Fichtner's bodyguard? Is that who you guys are talking about?
No.
No, he's the
We're
guy
talking
in
about
the
the guy in the
crew.
heist crew with the short gray hair that Pacino gets onto first.
He's like, you got
That's
a
how he
jailhouse
starts
tattoo of a peacock.
That's how he starts tracking them. Is the
remember
tall
that
guy.
guy.
His name's Michael something. He's an Italian last name.
I just
and in
remember
the
how he
big
died.
final
Spaghetti.
shootout scene at the end, he picks up that little girl to use her as cover from the cops. And Pacino takes the wildest shot I've ever seen in my
He
life.
fucking went
I mean,
for it.
I don't even think Chris Kyle would have had the balls to shoot that shot, dude. That was
Just
insane.
standing up, yeah.
No scope, too.
Iron
just
sights,
irons.
yeah.
Irons.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to talk about Natalie Portman tried to kill herself.
Because it was a weird, weak
Yeah.
scene. I mean,
It just
was
didn't
a plot
land.
that didn't do
Yeah.
it for
It's
me.
just,
Yeah.
Okay, let's give him some drama.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the family
right,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, really.
Pacino's like character.
Yeah,
and
let's stress him
arc.
out a bit
He
more.
was
They
arcing, guys.
They needed a reason for him to not be at the hotel that Dog the
guess.
Bounty Hunter was staying at and that
Yeah.
Pacino was gonna go to.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
And that was the reason, was that, oh, I'm arcing and I'm gonna be a family guy. I'm gonna be a Peter Griffin.
I'm arcing, Lois.
But then his wife basically
And then
says
Hank
to him,
Azaria was like, guys, don't talk about that show.
I will get in trouble.
but his wife basically says to him, she's like, oh, you saved my daughter from killing herself. That's one redeemable act. So now you can go do cop shit all the time again. I fully trust you. Marriage saved.
Yeah.
We're good.
Marriage saved.
Just go do cop shit again. I get it. You saved my daughter's life. Doesn't have to do anything. No flowers. Just... and he's only at the hospital for 4 minutes. She's still in the ER when he leaves to go deal with De Niro. He didn't arc at all. Neither of them arced.
No,
Neither of them learned their lesson.
but they both climaxed at the end.
That's all
shaking
that
their hands.
matters.
Oh, yeah.
But,
We did it.
Yeah,
I did the biggest heist. I did the biggest murder catch.
That was a very intelligent way De Niro got into the hotel to kill Dog the Bounty Hunter. And then he pulls the fire alarm so everyone has to evacuate. And,
Yeah.
that's a good scene, too.
It's a good scene.
Good redemption scene there. And then, like you said earlier, he leaves the girl behind.
What do you think of his goatee?
Dog the Bounty Hunter or Robert
No,
De Niro?
Robert De Niro.
Everybody's goatee.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean 90s villain facial hair?
Yeah.
Could have been a bit longer.
Yeah, I don't think it's
I think he
suited
should have
Yeah.
started growing it about a month sooner.
It
before
looks like he
shooting.
just spray painted a gray circle around his mouth.
Yeah.
It's like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs with the shoe paint.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah,
the spray
yeah.
on shoes. That's what it looked like. It looked like a spray on goatee.
I think he just wanted to prove he could grow facial hair. I mean,
Yeah. They were
Had
clowning
he
him in the
before
press.
I was
there
just saying,
a
we don't see
whole-
scruffy De Niro often,
I
do
think
we?
in Point Break when he's in jail, he has a full Joseph beard during that.
He's in Point Break?
Or sorry, not Point Break.
Fear?
Cape Fear.
Okay.
Point Break, Cape Fear. Okay. Can't
Gross
believe
Point
I'm
What's the
Break.
mixing
relation
them.
there?
They just sound. It's like beach place names.
A point and a cape? I
Yeah,
guess, yeah.
yeah.
Fear,
All right,
Point
thank you.
Break. You know there's a movie called Gross Point Blank?
With John
yeah.
Cusack?
John
and it's
Cusack, yeah.
based
It's-
in Grosse Pointe.
Yeah.
I need to
Have
see
you
that.
seen it?
Have you?
I haven't.
No.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
Has anyone here seen
I
it?
just think it's a
Never
weirdly
heard of it.
specific Michigan
It's
city.
very
Yeah, we're a
specific.
Southeast
Set a movie
Michigan
around.
crew, and none of us have
And
ever
he plays
seen
an
Grosse
assassin
Pointe
in
Blank.
it.
He's a hitman, I believe.
Hitman,
yeah.
yeah.
He's a hitman going to his high school reunion. From what I understand, that is the plot of that movie.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in too.
We should do that one at some point.
We should, yeah. We should just do made in
Michigan-based
Michigan movies.
Yeah. What are some other
Michigan
ones?
shot movies. 8 Mile. I mean,
8
come
Mile,
on.
yeah.
What's the Clint Eastwood one?
8 Mile is pretty.
It's so
boring.
fucking boring.
Last time I saw it, I was in 7th grade, so I couldn't.
There's like 3 really good scenes, and then the rest of it's.
I would say
pretty
there's some
boring.
good scenes and good acting or whatever, but as a movie, it's so fucking boring.
Like
Doesn't Real Steel take place in Detroit?
It might.
Yeah.
Real Steel was shot in Detroit.
Maybe
Parts
that's
of
what it is,
Parts
yeah.
of Real Steel were shot in Detroit. I know that.
Yeah.
It's another Detroit-based
Michigan
movie.
ass.
RoboCop.
RoboCop,
yeah.
Gran Torino.
Great.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gran Torino
yeah,
is
that's the one.
great.
There we
Obvious
go.
one.
Michigan month.
Yeah,
Michigan
yeah.
movie month.
Mitten month, yeah.
Mitten May.
Yeah, we'll say. Well, yeah, in May we'll just do Michigan movies. Yeah, we'll just. Yeah, the recorder died. We're doing final thoughts. I don't remember what we were talking about before.
Final
it died.
thoughts on Heat, really. I mean, we finished most of the final
all
scene. We
finished.
talked about it.
Great film. I hope someone makes is it machete cut? Is that the term to make it a sweet 88 minutes? But
It could easily
Yeah.
be
I
done.
Get down
Yeah.
with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
tight
know
90,
initially
as we
they
like
wanted to
call
make it into a series, and I feel like it would be an interesting series to
Like a
have,
mini series?
I don't
Or
know.
like a film series?
No, like a TV series.
Okay, yeah. I feel like a
Yeah, that would
TV
be
series
interesting.
would
Yeah.
actually be pretty good.
100%.
Yeah, like a little 8-part, like 50-minute episodes. Yeah, that'd be good.
yeah, I'd watch the fuck
Like
out
a
of that.
HBO thing, that'd be tight.
I thought, I kind of finished on it. I felt a little conflicted because it's 2 hours, 50 minutes, and there's maybe, combined total of 30 minutes that really don't need to be in it.
Yeah.
I'd say hard 3.5 to a light 4 for me out of 5.
Yeah.
It is good. I know it's like everyone loves Heat. It has a lot of like cultural cachet. I was kind of surprised I hadn't seen it before, but what did you text me? You said it's good. It's great, but not amazing.
It's a great movie, but by no means did I think it was like a 5 out of 5. Oh my god, I gotta recommend it to everyone. It's well written. There's some characters that have really good depth. Not Natalie Portman. But it's a good heist movie. There's good action. There's good relationships between the characters.
Wood.
It hits every aspect
R.I.P.
of what I think makes a heist movie good, well, but not amazingly.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And I think we'll see you next time. Big peace.
Peace.